Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Western Balkans corner of this, of the conference. I think we're about, 22% of the people participating in the in this conference are from the Balkans, so we're doing a great job. I'm your host, but on all of your tables there are people from the destination. So there is a coordinator, sustainability coordinator. Please just raise your hand, the sustainability coordinators. Yeah, okay. And each table also has a facilitator. A facilitator is part of. Raise your hand, facilitators, yes. They're part of the Balkan Green, our Balkan Green organization. And you'll be spending, in the next, hour and a half, 2 hours, you'll be spending time on your table. You're welcome to move around also, but I suggest you work within the table. Just a little bit about the organization. Balkan Green, as you said, Western Balkans is a very big area, and Balkan Green is a group of professionals from the region. And at this moment in time, we're from North Macedonia, coming to Albania, to Montenegro, to Bosnia, and to Slovenia. So we have a whole network of professionals who've been dealing with sustainable tourism, and we are all representatives from green destinations in our in our specific countries. Here are some of the places. There's Good Place, as we all know. Jana from Slovenia. They kicked off the sustainability movement in the Balkans and maybe even in Europe. Anyway. Macedonia is from, they're not here with us, Alex and Ivana, but they're from Macedonia, North Macedonia. Then there's Green Visions, that's my company, Bosnia and Herzegovina, outdoor adventure, and we do certification. Then there's Hiva Consulting, that's Kirsi, also a foreigner like myself who got lost in the Balkans, Finnish but lives in Montenegro. And then we have Terena, another lost person, American in Albania. But anyway, also responsible for, is the responsible partner of Balkan Green in Albania. As I said, we're an alliance of dedicated, professionals committed to, promoting and pushing forward and sustainable tourism. So most of us are we're coaches and auditors for green destinations, Travel Life. Some even in also have other certifications. But this is how we started. So it's like green destinations and Travel Life. Just a little bit about Balkan Green gives you a bit of an idea when we started. It was we had Slovenia, that was Jana, Fuji up there, 2013. And then in 2018, we started in Bosnia with the first, a study trip. We brought government and institutions to Slovenia to kind of find out what is happening in sustainable tourism with our neighbors. And after that, in 2020, so this is in the height of COVID, we actually got together online, all these partners, and we set up Balkan Green. We said, look, we need to do something together because, and this is the whole theme of today, the Balkans is so different from, let's say Austria or Holland or areas where we already have very well established sustainable, I would say, certification. People have a higher awareness of it. Then, very important, in 2021, that's the table over here, Trebinje. They were the first ones really to kick off with the top 100. And in that year, they also won a prize for, they were part of the top 100. And that's kind of what started the ball rolling. Of course, again, Slovenia has been going on. They were going on long before us, but this is where it kind of started in Trebinje. And then in 2021, also in Montenegro, was the first destination that got an award with green destinations. So it was Tivat that got bronze for the ACP. 2022, we became independent representatives for green destinations in the Balkans. And in 2023, we kicked it all off, and we went on a big roadshow through the Balkans, and we went from Bosnia to Montenegro to North Macedonia and to Albania. And the whole idea is, we're promoting, developing, making connections. So we're very interested in, moving this forward in the region. So, give you a bit of an idea. So there's 9 engaged, green destinations, including Top 100. You maybe saw yesterday there were a lot of, Bosnian companies up there. There were also some Croatian companies. There were some, there was Albania. So there's a lot of movement. There's lots of things happening. The numbers are not so important, but it kind of gives you, a bit of an idea of how things were. If we move back like 1 year ago, or even 2 years ago, there was very little. It was maybe Trebinje, it was maybe Slovenia, of course, but nothing here. So within 2 years, we have moved very fast, and we also have started to engage businesses in the region. So it's about 40. Anyway, so why are we here today? Here in this workshop, as I said, when we started to talk with green destinations about, okay, we really want to get sustainable tourism into the region, we realized very quickly on through our experience or our connections also with Slovenia that there's no one path, there's no one way, especially for us here. We are, when I say we, let's call it the Western Balkans, we have, we don't have a history of sustainable tourism. The countries are very similar in that way. So, when I talk about the Balkans, I talk about our countries here. And we started to talk, and what were some of the common themes? So we found that there are common themes. There are ways of how we connect or how we start the sustainable tourism process. So this is the workshop. If you want to know a little bit more about how we intensively, and when I say we're talking about the destinations. There's various destinations here, and we'll go into that later. But how we proceeded on, let's say, this path, this green path towards sustainability. And the whole idea for us is, okay, so what we wanted to learn, and this is a learning process for us, is like, okay, so after a year, so what went well? What were some of the challenges? What were some of the solutions the sustainability coordinators came up with, the communities came up with, and how can we go from the 9, top 100 or the few sustainable, I would say, awarded destinations, how can we kind of scale that up? So that is the theme for today. And there is a call to action. The call to action is for you, because we're very interested to hear from you, and that's why we have these tables. All of these tables have a destination, and you are all sustainable tourism professionals. Doesn't matter whether you're in Austria or in Bosnia or somewhere else in the world. I think we all have a lot to share, and so these destinations, and I'm going to go through. There's 6 destinations here. Every table has a destination. There's a number there. We have a municipality. We have Belš municipality, Albania. This table. Then number 2 is Tišina Bara Nature Park. That's here. And then we have 3rd municipality, Bosanska Krupa is here in the middle. Municipality Trebinje is there on the side. And then in the back we have Kozara National Park on the right, and on the left we have Skakovac protected areas. These are, you'll find out more about these destinations, but you have on each of your table, you have a QR code. The QR code takes you to a case study. We have the sustainability coordinators together with Balkan Green, we have written a case study about the challenges, the story, or let's say an introduction, the challenges, the solutions, and so these case studies are going to, you're going to be able to read them later on. So the idea for today is that, and we're gonna have these, every table is a breakout group. And within this breakout group, you're going to discuss a specific case study. And that case study has the QR code. Then, for instance, here, we're talking here about Belge, and so their main theme was rediscovering ancient cultural heritage for a sustainable tourism brand for the municipality. So, again, all the tables have the same, I would say, goals, or the same steps to take. Read the case study, and discuss amongst yourself the challenges and some of the solutions, and then the most important thing, we're very interested to hear from you, maybe your ideas as to how you would deal with some of these challenges. This will be facilitated by the coordinator, a sustainability coordinator, and a facilitator on each of the tables, and so together you'll come up with one or two, one of two challenges that are interesting for you and one of the solutions. And then after we've had, about 20 minutes at each of these tables, then we can come back and we'll give a little overview or presentation as to what all of the tables kind of shared with each other. So these are just, a little bit Ticina protected area. Maybe I just mentioned that. It's a very interesting area. It's a small community in Bosnia, and the significance here was that Ticina Bare is a protected habitat, and that habitat has kind of kick-started sustainable tourism within their community. Then we have Bosanska Krupa, also very interesting. You can see maybe maybe it's there. Yeah. You can see here there's some islands in the middle there, and these islands kind of connect one part with the other part of the city, and this has kind of sparked the development of sustainable tourism. So that's the kind of the trigger there. Then we have Trebinje. There's a lot of water. We have water everywhere. So their whole thing is the outdoor tourism, active tourism, adventure tourism is kind of sparked their discussion about, okay, so how can we become more sustainably? Then we have Kozara National Park. The park itself has started through an info center to raise awareness for in the surrounding areas and the visitors about sustainable tourism. Very important, just that we know when you ask people in the region what sustainable tourism is, it's like environmental protection and that's it. So the awareness is very, very little. So what happened here? Oh, there it is. Okay. And then we have Skakovac, which is a waterfall almost in Sarajevo, but it's like 12 kilometers from Sarajevo, but it's part of the town, and it's a protected area. And it's really also, it's a government institution, but they have really jump-started sustainable tourism there and within the community, but also within Sarajevo. So all 6 are very, very unique. All of this information is available on the, on the case studies, and also on our website, Balkan Green. So all of this information. Later on, there is another QR code here. And when you start reading your stories and having discussions, I would suggest you take one of our little rakias. It's a little drink. We have a sweet one and we have a hearty one. They're made from, it's alcohol. You need it in the morning, especially with after yesterday. So we have that here. There's another QR code here about the QR code gives you access to all of the case studies. So if you're interested, to know more about what others are doing, but you're in another table. And it also has videos, and it has the entire presentation on. So, yep, this is very good. Please help yourself. So I suggest right now that you grab yourself a rakia or a glass of water, and within each of your groups, we start with the... Yes, take a few minutes to read, and then, I would say you have about 20 minutes within each group. Živjeli. Okay. Oh, Minema. Can you turn this one off? Yeah? Because I'm going to be in one of the groups.
Actually, we are all here, home people.
No.
Okay, we are talking about.
Živio.
Živio.
Nema niko ovdje, ha?
Nema.
Do you want to join us as well? No? Okay.
Čitaš pa nas filtraš. Da.
Bio sam.
Mi smo tu stavili akcenat na saradnju sa planinarskim društvom i sportskim klubom koji nam pomažu u izgradnji sadržaja.
Diverse visitors.
Da. Svake godine provodimo anketu.
Čekaj, ako vi imate 100.000 godišnje, znači trebalo bi na neki način proveriti nešto, vidite koja je ta grupa, te tržišne grupe koje vam dolaze, turističke.
Pa to radimo, mi svake godine vršimo anketu.
I kakav vam je profil? Imamo
Anketu, po toj anketi ovako, najviše je starosna grupa od 25 do 45 godina. Znači, to je 90% posjetilaca, 25 do 45. Žene prednjače, srednja stručna sprema, pa onda visoka, čak smo i to uključili u anketu. Od ukupnog broja otprilike 15 do 20% su djeca. Znači, ako je 100.000 posjetilaca, znači 15 do 20.000 su djeca.
Posjetioci s djecom.
Da, znači, sad kad kažemo 25 do 45 godina, a kad pričamo o kategorijama, najviše ide porodica, i zatim prijatelji, jer imamo i to u anketi, i tu kategoriju. Da, znači najviše porodični ljudi, prijatelji, i onda smo imamo kategoriju u anketi da kažu koje sadržaje u parku najviše koriste.
Koja je infrastruktura za porodicu?
Da, i onda smo mi smo poredali ono što imamo. Uglavnom, 85% ljudi je reklo da dolaze isključivo zbog prirodnih vrijednosti. Odmor, rekreacija, šetnja. Od sadržaja koje koriste, najviše se koriste pješačke staze. Jer dolaze zbog šetnje. Da.
Dobro.
Pješačke staze i onda ima taj dio gdje smo ostavili vaše komentari i sugestije.
Dobro.
I to je nekako najzanimljivije za čitati.
Je li to sve može po tim kategorijama?
Da, anketa je napravljena,
Kako,
ima
u kojem je
20
formatu
pitanja.
anketa?
Imamo, znači, hard copy, odnosno
Dobro.
papir koji
Ono,
bude gore
knjig, dobro.
u hotelu, infocentru i muzeju, znači da mogu na licu mjesta, a imamo online.
Jel ima ono online?
Ima
Kao nešto na
online.
Google Forms, ono nešto na
Da,
onaj
ja
fazon.
pustim, obično je pustim negdje u proljeće, ono prije buma, one sezone gdje
Dobro.
ljudi razmišljaju dok su još svježi. Da, i svake godine to radimo.
Možeš ti da presjećaš te podatke ovako da izbaciš ovaj avanturizam, ovi popularni trendovi, bicikl, pa onda ono
Viking i ostalo, pa da.
Može.
bushwing. Sad, kad uzmeš tu grupu,
Avanturista.
kad tu analiziraš, koja je to grupa, koliki je tu income i to, imaš li te podatke?
Biciklizam, da kažemo da je to tek u razvoju, znači on tek kreću. Najviše, znači, kad kažemo taj avanturistički turizam, te pješačke
hiking,
staze,
faktički.
hiking, i što je sad postalo popularno, mi smo uradili Via
Via
Ferratu
Ferratu, to,
i
da.
Avantura park.
Ferrata je bilo unutar ovog
Za
projekta.
odrasle
I za djecu.
djecu.
Znači,
Znači
Avantura
on je
park,
jedan i drugi. Dobro,
da,
dobro, dobro.
Avantura park je za odrasle i za djecu i on je stvarno popularan. Baš je popularan, jedino što je njemu ograničeno od vrijeme rada, jer zavisi od vremenskih prilika. Znaš, tako da on u principu radi ljeti samo. To su neka možda 2 mjeseca, 2-3, zavisi od vremena.
U sezoni, sad kad je najljepše otići na planinu jer je hladniji kad je dole u gradu.
Da, znači taj Avantura park, jako su popularni, dakle Via Ferrata, sad Via Ferrata jeste za malo one spremnije. I Vidikovci. Vidikovci, to sad smo uradili, ono srce na Zečjem kamenu. To je najpopularniji lokalitet, zato smo ga i stavili tamo. Tako da, kažem, eto, pješačke staze zajedno sa Vidikovcem. Da je došao do Vidikovca, naravno moraš koristiti pješačku stazu. Avantura park i Via Ferrata. Te 3 kategorije, onda ide biciklizam, on je tek u usponu. I što smo primijetili u zadnje 2-3 godine, kako je infocentar otvoren, mi do sad, znaš da nismo imali gore infocentra, i sad kako je otvoren infocentar, on je nam fantastičan izvor podataka. Jako je puno kampera, a kampera sa onim...
Kuće, kamp kuće, ja.
Kombi, one kamp kućice,
Jel ima
da.
tamo infrastruktura za to?
Nema, sad ćemo morati vas vući za rukav.
Dobro, malo procjena sredstava.
Moramo uraditi.
Uradite projekat?
Da, moramo uraditi projekat, jako ih je puno.
Jer
Pa
mislim da
kažu dnevno 2-3, dnevno. 2-3.
Ima i ona minimalna, je li tako? Čiri, ima ona minimalna infrastruktura, ono, struja, priključak, voda,
Mora biti
Smeće.
smeće, da,
sanitarni čvor.
Sanitarni čvor.
Ono za njihovo ono.
Da. Vi ste odvojili već kao neka mjesta, a, na ulaz parka na desnoj
Da,
strani.
imamo i lokalitet, sad treba uraditi projekat za autokamp i onda tražiti sredstva. Mislim da to neće biti nimalo jeftino, upravo zbog ovoga. Sanitarni čvor, kanalizacija,
mi ne
otpadne
pričamo
vode.
ispod 200.000 maraka stvarno
Da,
da
to je
vam treba, to je minimalno, ona se
Znaš što
možete
je meni
dobiti za
interesantno, znaš?
tehničku
Ne znam,
dokumentaciju.
motoristi, biciklisti, kamperi, ne znam, posmatrači ptica. Pa sad razbi scenariju šta za koje treba, pa onda uporediti troškovi i očekivana korist. I onda u skladu s tim opredijeliti promociju. Jer ona Sloven ključno kaže koliko si imao onih pregleda na stranici. Na osnovu tih broja pregleda oni su projecirali prihod, koliki će biti taj reach, kad je toliki reach, koliki je response, koliko od toga prošlo stvarno i koliko para su uzeli, koliko je dano.
Cijela priča je isto ovdje da, ima, naravno, ima taj kamp što je potrebno, ali ima isto planinarski dom, ima neki privatnici ko isto već nešto radi, park kao park ima svoje kao neki bungalove i tako dalje. Znači, to jest kako je stoje ovdje u studiju, da ima tu neki challenge. Potencijal ima neki, znaš, izazove. Ali jedna stvar što je isto lijepo što se tiče te informacije, oni imaju dosta informacija. Isto ste pravili izvještaj posjetilaca sa USAID-om, jedan kao detaljan studija kako treba i šta treba sve da uključi, plan upravljen. I to je, znaš, to je jedan početak, to je jedan baza. To svaki, na primjer, Plitvica, to je njihov glavni dokument. Znači, sve što se tiče održivost ide stalno, oni to, znači, kaže, evo pogledaj, management plan parka i tako dalje. Znači, mi imamo ovdje već par dobar stubove, znači, tu.
Da, imamo mi stvarno vršimo istraživanje.
Da.
Istraživanje tržišta. Tako da imamo sve te početne informacije.
Pa šta bi bili sad prioriteti u narodnom periodu za vas?
U
ovom sustainable?
Možda da gledamo šta je onda izazov, jer to je odmah, šta je onda za vas najveći to izazove što ste tu stavili?
Želja.
Želje će doći iz taj izazov.
Da. Postojeći kapacitet, znači ono što imamo je u principu, ajde da kažem, na neki način i dovoljno, jer smo nacionalni park, ne možemo biti Zlatibor.
Da.
Ono što je potrebno sad je sredstva za sanaciju svega toga, jer je to već prilično dotrajalo. Sad, znači trebaju ulaganja recimo u signalizaciju, da se obnovi signalizacija na pješačkim stazama.
To je rješivo.
Da, ulaganja u mostiće, pošto imamo dosta mostića koji vode do određenih lokaliteta, znači da kažemo ta infrastruktura.
Pričamo o relativno manjim iznosima gdje je rješivo od strane institucija.
Govorimo se
jer mi imamo grantove za ovo i uvijek svake godine dajemo nacionalno.
Održavanje, sad smo radili signalizaciju, samo za mraku. Znači održavanje postojeće infrastrukture. To je to, jer park nema para da to sam radi. Da smo mi dobili grant 8.000, ali mi nismo imali 8.000 da damo sami za signalizaciju, već smo dobili od ministarstva. Znači održavanje infrastrukture.
100.000 posjetilaca da plate kartu.
Veliki su troškovi parka.
I ulazak je 2 marke.
Sad je 4.
Aha, 4, okej.
Da, i dakle ovaj autokamp. Znači to je ona veća investicija koja bi nam stvarno značila autokamp.
Mislim.
Je li to kompletno područje autokampa ovoga parka? Je li pokriveno dobro internet veze?
Yes.
I imate mogućnost da tu svugdje nešto stavite i da postavite one, ne znam, pametne klope solarne, lijevo, desno, da ljudi s aplikacijom mogu da se snađu, kako se zagube u šumu.
Može, pokriveno signalom je dobro.
I pješačke, to smo radili nas dvoje, ja sam ih trebao, sam prešao sve. I GPS-i, pokriveno sve imamo. Sad ovaj nam čovjek mijenjamo, refreshujemo stvari, nanovo radili smo i sad stranicu i on treba da nam okače s njim poslo u 3 formata GPS. Za čitanje, znači pješak, biciklista, bilo snimi.
Sve mapirano i digitalno mi imate
digitalno i sebi na telefon ili GPS-om, bilo koji.
Nama treba i jača promocija. Nama treba jača promocija. Ne može, mislim, postoji, evo primjer Banja Luke. Banja Luka je nama 50 km. Banja Lučani ne znaju za Aventura park. Ne znaju za Aventura park. I onda kad čuju za njega, to je opšte oduševljenje. Onda, znači, već sljedeći vikend dovode porodicu, prijatelje. Znači, potrebna je jača promocija, bukvalno prvo u okruženju, pa tek onda, da kažem, na nivou BiH. Jer još uvijek je u svijesti ljudi da je Kozara memorijalna zona. I pa, znači, Irina, ja kontaktiram turističke agencije. Ajde, imaš šta?
Imaš 3-4 koji su specijalizovali za receptivu.
Upravo, znači ima šta i odgovor je kao u tom kontekstu zašto ne dolaze recimo na Kozaru, kao pa jednostavno kao dosadno je, nema šta vidjeti, vrtite se oko spomenika 15 minuta, kao i to je to.
A sad je najmanje spomenik, su spomenike ono.
Spomenik jeste bitan, da, ali
vidiš,
to, on je otišao u drugi plan, bukvalno, totalno drugi plan. I sad treba znači ljudima reći da postoji avantura park, da postoje pješačke staze, da postoje vidikovci, biciklističke staze, edukativne staze, i to smo radili, infocentar. Znači sad ima tih sadržaja, samo treba uraditi malo bolju promociju, da ljudi zato čuju. A mi što se tiče promocije, to je slabo, baš slabo.
Ovo nevezano za naš ovdje workshop, što kažu, ali tu promociju smo generalno, problem je generalno. Smatram, ja sad kao predstavnik ministarstva smatram da institucije koje su nadležne za promociju ne rade svoj posao kako treba. I to nam je ključni problem. Mislim da će moja sugestija biti sada ministru novom da mora da pojača znači saradnju sa Torsom, sa lokalnim TO, jer su oni plaćeni za to i oni su dužni da promovišu, pogotovo TO Prijedor, jer vi geografski, mislim, administrativno pripadate.
Sve opštine oko Kozare.
Ima 5 opština.
Ali TO Prijedor da ponese, a da ostale, uključujući i Banja Luka,
to je najlošije.
jer je tu itinerar, znači ideš, obilaziš sve što je 50 ili 100 km od Banja Luke. Bili se ide nama, Thierry uradio hub and spoke za Banja Luku. Međutim, ima nekih ispravki, to moramo da riješimo s njima. I mislim da se ti itinerari, ovo priča, ja sam govorim za Banja Luku i ono sve, Banja Luka pokriva je Prijedorsku opštinu.
Zajedno, potko zajedno.
Da, i mislim da se tu i tekako može iskoristiti sad u ovom novom, ja ću nazvat, naletu promocije, jer ne možeš. Znači, tu treba, imaju 4 registrovane receptivne putničke agencije u Banja Luci, koje samo rade receptive i njih treba isforsirati. Mi smo planirali u budžetu sledeće godine, 24. da se pomogne kao sa 2 miliona putničkim agencijama za dovođenje turista. Znači da se ide izvana outcome, to, ali isto tako da jedan dio budžeta ide na ovo receptivno. Što bi bilo, imamo turističke vaučere u kojem će samo ova receptiva.
Znači, loša je promocija, loša promocija, mora biti promocija jača. Prvo na lokalu, kažem, znači Banja Luka ne zna šta sve Kozara ima. 50 km je od nas. Imala sam ja kontakte sa Toblom, međutim ono kako je kod njih došlo do promjena. Jedino što sam uspjela isposlovati to je da odnesem promotivni materijal u njihov prostoriju da oni stave kod sebe. A sad koliko ljudi ulazi u Tobol da uzme u promo materijal, to je
više niko ne. Ja volim miris papira, imam punu kuću raznih ovih pamfleta, mape gradova gdje sam bila, to više niko ne radi. Mislim, sad sam ja prešla na online. Ja volim.
Da ti iskaču reklame na Viberu, na Google, ne znam nija kako, da si na onim LED panelima i na aerodromima Mahovljaka.
Isto tako.
50 km.
Isto tu ta promocija krenula sa Torsom i rađeno nešto sa radi svoje sedom, međutim kako se tamo promijenila na aerodromu personalna struktura uprave, to je stavno sve, moramo taj dio pojačiti.
Kad spomenula agencije, ima agencija, ja sam upoznala tog momka, Aleksa se zove Good Host. Preko USAID-a sam ga upoznala i priča je...
Aleksa je svaki dan.
I sad ja njemu kažem, ispričam što sve Kozare imaju. Kao, molim, znaš, ono rekao, ima, aj kao napravni program neki nešto, ja ću to okačiti na sajt. Dobro. I sad ove godine zvao nas je, dovodio je grupu, mislim, Njemaca na pješačenje. Sad u oktobru njih 10-15 opet dolazi na pješačenje, onda nam je doveo školske ekskurzije, jer smo uradili, šta smo mi sad uradili? Radimo, ali i to sad ja ne znam kome, Irena, ti su ministarstvu, sad pričamo o ovim institucionalnim koja odgovorna za šta. Nama se recimo ekskurzije ne najavljuju. I sad kako to funkcioniše? U jednom danu zna biti 50 autobusa na Brakovici. Znači, agencija njih doveze
I agencija je dužna da obavijesti.
Izađu djeca iz autobusa i to je to. Znači, nema programa, nema ničega. Šta mi radimo kako smo otvorili infocentar?
Ne može to tako.
Slušaj, mi
Ja
otvorili...
znam da je tu praksa, ali to ne smije da je tu propisano sve.
Znači nema najave, oni samo dolaze. I sad, djeca izlaze iz autobusa, ovi naši iz infocentra iskaču i bukvalno hvataju žive. Prilaze nastavnicima, bukvalno uvlače djecu u infocentar. Djeca kad uđu u infocentar, wow, oduševljenje, životinje, ptice, to je njima prelijepo. Onda kolege održe čas, neki 10 minuta. Znate li gdje ste došli? Znate li šta je nacionalni park? Znate li kako se trebate ponašati? Pričaju o životinjama, stvarno ih animiraju. I onda grupe kroz edukativnu stazu vode gore do spomenika i na onoj livadi ima par edukativnih igara koje odrade sa djecom. I mi to radimo besplatno. Kao prvo privuci tu djecu, odnosno nastavnike, privuci škole, da mi imamo kao neki program. Radimo to besplatno da bi ove godine već su neke škole se najavile za maj sljedeće godine da će platiti taj program.
Znaš šta, mislim da...
Treba raditi, ne može ništa preko noći, a opet se vraća...
Ali jedna stvar što si ti i prije rekla, da, na primjer, dođe djeca ide kući, oni su toliko, oduševljeni i onda dolazi sljedeći put sa roditeljima. Znači, djece prevuči roditelje.
To kolekcije iz infocentra.
Da. Hajde da samo... Wrap up. Zaključak. Ima tu puno stvari, ali ovo što sam čuo na početak je bilo kao, znaš, da ima jedan krak izazova je sve u vezi informacija, da fali informacija prema krajnji koristi. Jest. I to i domaće i strani. Ali također informacija, ovo što sam čuo da neke informacije može biti bolje postavljan unutar u parku. Sad kad sam bio kad smo imali obuka i malo sam hodao okolo tamo kod ovi planinarski dom ili ovaj kafić tamo gore kod na ski staza, jest tamo. Znači su prije kao objekat, tu ima, znaš, ali ako tražiš nešto od njih, znaš, što se tiče, tražio sam, hoću sat vremena da vozim, znači, ne znam, evo tu, znači, piši nešto tamo, znači, ali hoću samo da kažem, to su isto stakeholdere parka i to je uvijek izazov, znaš, kako institucija kao park uključi i biznisa, jer i to je jedan stup unutar te sljedeće 15 kriterija, to je to. I tu i, na primjer, tu su Plitvica, park, tu su oni izgubili bodove, jer isto vrlo malo radi na to. Znači, oni radi vijest unutar, na primjer, za svoj hotel, za svoje prodaje i tako dalje. Sve što je njihovo, super, to je sve cakom pakom. Ali odmah, znaš, kad ideš... ili selo, jer imaš ti par njihovi selo i imaju bed and breakfast i tako dalje, onda ima nešto, ali nije, znaš, toliko. Promocija, znaš, digitalizacija je isto ovo što ste vi pričali. I znam da ima stvari, ja sam hodao sa, ne znam, za Autorective, jedna aplikacija i krenuo sam, znaš, jes, funkcioniše, ali se može, znaš, kao park, može se vrlo jednostavno, kao, ako već imaš kao infocentar, znaš, gdje djeca dolazi, djeca imaju sve informacije sad tamo, to je odlično. I to naravno imaju isto ime karta i tako dalje, ali dosta ljudi, znaš, za planinari i bicikliste hoće digitalno. I GPS. Čuli smo dosta od Autorective ovdje kako možeš to vrlo jednostavno pristupiti, ništa ne košta i tako dalje. Ali, znaš, nije Autorective jedini, imaš puno drugih.
Brzici, oni, odakle su bili ono što su, onaj tip gdje smo tu u Berlinu.
Ima, znaš, Česi koristi nešto drugo od Njemci i tako dalje. Ima tu različite stvari, ali ove škole su interesantno. Škole jesenca, znaš, već dolazi, već dođe, tu, to je ciljano, možete, znaš, da. Ali, znaš, ako škole ili ljudi samo znaju to kao memorialni centar, znači fali jedna vrsta informacija o sve te aktivnosti, danas ljudi traži to, ok, djeca imaju aktivnosti, ali roditelji hoće isto aktivnost, znaš, hoće ljudi nešto da radi, da biciklizam, planare, zipline, i vaše staze su krasno, znaš, to imaš ti...
Vi morate džabno organizovati ekskurziju za putničke agencije, jer škole nemaju veze s tim. Znači, škola angažuje putničku agenciju da im odradi školsku ekskurziju koja je propisana. Školska ekskurzija je propisana, treba što, škola o prirodi, znam ja, meni sad dijete ide u školu, pa ja prolazim jer sam u savjetu roditelja i vidim da to nema nikakve veze sa školom, tako da vi...
Ali agencija je samo prevoznik. Ni agencija ne radi program, barem da oni imaju svog nekog, nazove animatora. Ništa. Oni samo prevoz, Irena, samo prevoz. Znači, iz iskustva, nama ekskursija što kažu da on za 60. On samo prevoz.
How are you going here?
Just started. No, it took a while before everybody has that at all. No? Yeah.
Okay, so
What's the time?
15 minutes?
To talk?
Yeah? No,
I'm
just
trying to
15
chase
minutes,
them.
just another, it's a quarter past? Yeah? Okay. Sorry, how's it going? Kako ide?
Mi smo manje više možemo, spremni smo.
Aha, mislim, oni trebaju još malo vremena. Znači, za 15 minuta ćemo, kako se zove, onda imati kao naše plenarne, ok? Zdravo, vidim. How's it going here? Yeah? Need another 15 minutes? Or, yeah? Then we quarter past and we... Okay. Hi. How's it going?
Okay.
Yeah? How much time do you need?
I don't know, how much time do we have?
Another 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
We're trying to think of like maybe you could throw some things in and then someone can come and take them out. You know, like someone can come in. You know how you get golf balls when you go golfing, you get golf balls out of the pond? Somebody comes along and takes them out at night and so they don't fill up. So they might do something like that as well for people, because some people are still throwing whatever they have, you know. Hello.
How's it going?
It's going all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
How's it going on your table?
Yeah, they need some tables need a little bit more time. They're discussing things, but another.
Bottom-up approach work.
Yeah, we'll have a.
This has to be bottom one by one. Government did not have.
Yes. Yeah.
Wonderful, lovely story.
So another, in 15 minutes we kind of talk again with the entire group. Okay?
So talk about what we discussed.
Yes, here, your finding. You share it with the rest of the group. Okay? Okay.
Pružaju uslugu školske ekskurzije, ali njih nema puno. I samo one s licencom što su na spisku koji je javan na sajtu našeg ministarstva. Znači, samo oni mogu pružati uslugu. Dobar dan, dođite cijelodnevni boravak džabni u nacionalnom parku, to će biti trošak za nacionalni park, ali morate ih tako i da dogovorite s njima da se ne radi to i da im kažete, ajte i dajte, evo naš vodič uključite u cijenu. I onda vi uključite se u cijenu. Razumiješ me? Tu mora tako. Mi ne vidimo više ni jedan drugi način, a nama kiksa inspekcija u svim ovim postupcima, znači ne možeš ih više ni nahvatati, ni kažnjavati. Ali evo, pošaljite me jer vidim da to prolazi u ovim ostalim stvarima.
Da, ali pa sad tu, znači agencija je, bukvalno kažem, vrši samo transport. Dovezu ih i žargonski istovareni.
A ne bi smjelo tako, oni su dužni da sprovedu
pa
kompletno.
sad, ovi iz infocentra iskaču na parking, da, nastavnike, ajte molim vas uvedite djecu, neko hoće, neko neće, a neko neće, ok, ne možeš ti ljude natjerati daleko od toga, većina njih se odazove. I onda kad uđu unutra i kad kolege odrade, znači taj dio, oni se oduševe. I šta se dešava? nastavnici zovu za sljedeći izlet, mi to naplaćamo 30 maraka. To znači vođenje kroz edukativnu, te igre, to je traje sat i po vremena. 30 maraka je simbolično, ali eto, ajde, mislim, nama što kažu zuvarište. Nastavnici, dakle, su ti onda koji zovu infocentar, mi dolazimo, ne znam, 10. oktobra i hoćemo ono vaše vođenje. Znači, opet mimo agencije.
Pošaljte, razgovarate s direktorom. Znači, u narednom periodu, znači, prijedloge, spisak licenciranih putničkih agencija, tačno se vidi tamo koji su za receptivu, na kraju već ih poznajete, jer tu su ljudi koji rade. I ostalo. Slušaj, pozvati dobar dan, direktori, predstavnici, znači ti koji vode programe, dođite jedan dan na Kozoru, ručak, druženje, malo obilaženje, sjedite s njima, dogovorite. Dogovor je da vam se javljaju, dogovor je da uključu cijenu tu vašu uslugu i dogovor je da odrade onaj itinerar, da napravi onakav kakav im vi date. Jer škola opet zove agenciju pa traže od njih, smo naprave javno, da onu prepišu iz pravilnika ono. Znači nema tu
uopšte nikakvih inovacija.
Znači Aleksa je za 25 maraka išao u taj Ivel izletište jer jela konja, imali su krasan, sokić i mali sladoled. Išlo od 1. do 5. razreda svi. 6 autobusa išlo. Mislim, hoću da vam kažem. Znači, svi su se uključili u tu cijenu. Izvini, samo ali...
Ne, ovo je sve važno. Ja svakako mislim da ovo što ste vi sad pričali, što kao te products, kao, znači, mi sad pričamo o programe. Mislim da je to isto od pomoć, je li negdje napisano na vaša web stranica? Edukativni program za školama. To da ako kažeš program je to, ovo uključiš tačno šta dobiješ, ja, i šta trebaš raditi. Prijavi se 7 dana prije, nemoj 5 do 12, jer imamo i drugi, vi ćete, jer ovo će širiti, onda dobit ćeš možda 5 škola u jedan dan, jer je to sve taj, jer svi ide isti moment na izlet.
Gledaju vrijeme i
dvije sedmice, bukvalno u 2 sedmice se izredaju sve škole.
Da, i onda kad oni tačno vidi isto cijena, u cijena je uključen to, i onda možeš i onda oni to vidi i bukiraju, ali to na dvojezični ili na strani jezika isto i tu će isto doći škole,
I na kraju individualci, mislim, porodice, ali da ti program vi stavite program, znači nezavisno od bilo koga. Ali moja sugestija je da pokušate ovo s putničkim agencijama, bar ovaj dio školske propisane ekskurzije. To vam je broj ljudi, mislim, to je izvor prihoda.
I mislim da, vi imate, što si ti pričala od vaše komunikacije ili veze sa Lonskom polje.
To je 2012. 13.
Pa tako nešto, prvi projekt.
Da. I mislim da je to, Hrvatska je isto tržište. Znači, tu, pogotovo sa ovim nacionalnim parkom, jer ljudi putuje, park kao park možda 1-2 puta ide, ali isto kroz u taj mreža je isto interesantno dati informacije prema njima. Ili
i dobro je za cross border da možemo da uzimate sredstva.
Da. A vaše Instagram je isto vrlo aktivno, stalno stavite stvari na to. Treba, jedna stvar je moguće, ova informacija, školski izlete, kad znate, na primjer, ovaj mjesec je uvijek školski izlet, to, i onda treba targetirati. Školski izlet, ovo prvi, sugestija, to. I onda ovo, ako već ima, ja sam 100% siguran da ako ova agencija licencirani, oni isto imaju svoj Facebook ili Instagram i onda njih treba, tagirati. A i škola možda imaju ili neki, ima tu puno mogućnosti.
Ovo sad pričamo o školama i tu stvarno, što kažu, ima tu prostora za rad. I mi smo dobro počeli, s obzirom recimo da prošle godine nismo imali maltene ništa. Ove godine smo već fino zaradili na tih 30 maraka što su vodili škole. Znači već se navikavaju.
Prošle godine i svaki
Da.
put zadovoljni.
Eto, mi smo u početku i sad nudimo još uvijek besplatno, ajde samo da se privuku.
Vi samo trebate sad da spriječite bezobrazluk agencija,
Tako
jer to
je,
sad
bravo.
ako ide fino, pazi, ni taj direktor škole bez javne nabavke ne može. Ako mu 3 ponuđene putničke agencije najjeftinija bude ona bezobrazna, vi ste opet na gubitku. Ali vi, moje savjeti, vidim da to ide. Znači, napravite mi onaj study day, džabni, malo ih zgotivite jedan dan u parku, pokažete im to, sve nek oni vide, dajte im program, znači itinerar, vi napravite za park, za djecu, pa školski uzrast, onaj, vi to napravite, što kaže Ćiri, stavite na vaše društvene mreže, website i na taj način pokrijete to. Angažovanje inspekcije ništa ne postižemo, to je karika koja...
Pozivanje na socijalni kolateral, evo kako se djeca vode na ekskluzije, šta kad padne, šta kad ovo, pa opriješ 2 direktora, pa treći onda neće.
Ne, znam.
Pa ti ne baciš nekakve standarde, pa neka je ispunimo.
Da. Tu mora putnička agencija ispuniti jer ona je odgovorna za ekskursiju.
Strateško partnerstvo s neke ovdje i gure.
Opet se vraćamo na to, znači kako god okreneš, promocija ka svim kategorijama posjetilaca, od avanturista znači do školske djece. Mi stvarno, recimo, sa planinarskim društvom, pogotovo Klekovača, oni imaju dom u parku. Saradnja fantastična. Radili sa njima markiranje staza. Oni održavaju određene staze u parku, radili VFR-a, pomogli nam kod avantura parka. Dom saniran, svaki vikend oni imaju planinare, da li je Hrvatska, Slovenija, Srbija, znači svaki vikend je dom pun. I mi uvijek svoje promotivne materijale, pogotovo karte parka, planinar, samo treba karte, njima je dovoljno. Ali koliko i ti ljudi nas promovišu?
Tako.
I nekako oni se, sad da kažem, tu izdvajaju, jer su stvarno aktivno uključeni, baš aktivno uključeni u rad parka. I oni isto govore kao, kad odu tako negdje u okruženje, kad pričamo šta sve Kozare ima, isto promocija ta koja je tu nekako, da kažem, na neki način kočnica jer ljudi ne znaju.
Da. Jedna stvar što si ti rekla isto, da ja mislim da je to interesantno, da institucija kao TORS, ministarstva ili lokalni TO, to je isto jedan, znaš, isto jedan vid promocije. Znaš, ako već imamo study visit, zašto ne, znaš, za njih isto, znaš, ali to je ili informacija prema njima, jer sad mi pričamo o tej lokalni turističke organizacije, cilj je njima isto, znaš, da što duže ljudi ostane, znači, te opštine oko parka, znaš, nije to velika udaljenost. I ako čovjek ostane još jedan noć ili još jedan dan, 2 dana, jer imaju 2 dana u park i onda da putuje, znaš, nema smještajnih kapaciteta za svi tamo, svakako, ima različite gosti i tako. Ja mislim da ovako neka podrška od institucija, vlade, tu je interesantno, znaš. I možda, ti si isto nešto rekla što se tiče vouchere, bila priča. Ja mislim da je isto interesantno da ako već jedna od rijetki destinacija već, znaš, se bavi odgovorni turizam ili te certifikacija i tako dalje, da možda, znaš, da možda i tu se koristi, ok, voucheri čovjek može koristiti kako god hoće, ali da daje neki prednost, znaš, ne znam, prema neki...
Naši voucheri su bili za smještaj i ishranu u objektima ugostiteljstva.
Da.
Pa sad po različitim lokalitetima.
Da.
Naša ideja, moja Jelenina, je bila da imamo i vouchere one druge.
Aha.
Međutim, ja nisam sigurna hoće li naša uprava to da prihvati, ali imali smo ideju upravo ovo. Da imamo ove adventure, pa da imamo za aktivnosti vouchere.
Da.
Znači da to ide promocija po različitim lokalitetima. Međutim, nisam sigurna hoće li to ministar naš prihvatiti.
Dobro, ali može biti kao rješenje, nešto načine, jest. Ok, dobro, znači challenges je informacija, pristup informacija, šta park ima malo organizacije što se tiče dovođenja ljudi u park, organizacije toga. I onda imamo rješenje, to je promocija, study visits, digitalizacija i tako.
Ja sam government sa torsom.
Jest, i za to. Da. Ja idem
Naravno, ti kaže, kao da, ali mi nemamo par.
To je za sve, cijeli ovaj paket.
Aha, hvala.
Ja. Mhm.
Aha, tu su i prezentacije.
Jest, sve ovo što je tu i sve te case studies i tako, ima i isto neki video tu. Hoćete vode? Može, slobodno. Evo.
Minutes, right?
Ah,
Less. 25. Until
Quarter
the
past.
the Q&A.
Yes. No. We're gonna have more discussions. So we're gonna come together now, and then there's an hour just before we wrap up.
Okay.
It might go quicker. It depends. It's what
Okay.
people want to do, but I think it's 1:15 that it's finished. Yeah. Okay. So yes. So
I have it all together, so you can.
you have it all together here. We don't have the panel.
Okay.
So it's not a panel, but it's more like we'll keep it open and yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. You're good?
You're doing a great job. I have pictures from all of them.
You do? Yeah.
Yeah, many.
So cool. Yeah.
I have already sent I have
But
made it.
but you're it's also being uploaded, to or not?
Yeah, I sent it to Amit, who's
Okay.
responsible for the communication.
And was there going to be a place where people could download stuff also?
Yeah,
Yeah?
exactly. So if people scan this,
Yes.
they'll have the front page, and at the end there is a drive.
It is a drive.
So there they can find all the pictures.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Okay, so they can see that
Exactly.
on
Here.
just everywhere and
Here.
over here.
You
Yeah.
scan and that's
Okay.
it.
Okay. Good. Excellent. Maybe later we said we were going to talk a little bit also with Snezhana, no?
Yeah. We said I have also
today,
with
with
Jana.
Jana.
Yeah, with Jana, so we can whatever works for you.
Okay.
I said I'm not going to be a technical in another panel or
You're
something
not.
like this. No, so I
Okay.
don't have time for these 2 meetings.
Okay.
With Jana, one for
So maybe after, if depending on how much time it is here, we can just after that we can just stay here
Just lunch and eat.
or lunch. Yeah.
Please.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then for sure.
Yeah.
After lunch.
Okay. Can you turn this on again? Yes. Yeah. I'll be quiet. You're good? Yeah. 5 minutes we do. Okay, everyone. 5 more minutes, and then make your notes, and then we have our presentation and our discussion. Okay? 5 minutes. Okay. Where are you based in? Tako.
right?
Where are you based?
In Patras,
Huh?
Greece.
Yes, yeah. You're from
And-
there.
yeah,
It's your home place.
Yeah. And you?
Sarajevo.
Okay. But it's super interesting that we are all here Balkans because Greece as well. I mean,
Yeah. We're working on this Eurocluster program, and yeah, there are many Greek small family-owned businesses.
yeah.
So,
In Greece, basically, it's all about small family businesses.
and it's one of the things we want to do. Is one section is also the green, and offer GDP for as part of that Eurocluster COSME program.
I can see a lot of potential in Balkans, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Especially for scan and level 1 that are super easy.
Yes.
Because the rest, I think you need some experience, more work later.
I've got some ideas, and we'll talk. That's what I want to talk about
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
Okay. A little bit more.
This is what I learned, the new thing for you. Workshop with the liquid. This is my first time. Yeah. Can I
This
take
is
photo of
absolutely, please.
Is that usual to have?
No, but we do that. But
Yeah, in Balkans it's usual
in the
to,
Balkans
to
it is,
drink
yeah.
at 9 in the morning.
Yes.
10. Like
Yeah,
in the
breakfast.
Villages, in the villages for sure. Yeah, like when the weather is cold. Yeah.
But I think you need to. This is cultural in the Balkans, so you need to figure out what works for you. So when you organize something like that, where are you from? Thailand. So in Thailand, you have your own cultural thing.
Yes, we
so
drink some welcome drink, like
Exactly.
herbal drink like that.
Yeah,
we will
this-
have like
I would always do that
Yeah.
because what everyone's
Makes you
saying.
more casual, right?
What,
Because I realize. Evo nam čivija.
Da, nismo
mi počnemo.
Hoćemo. Ali
Hoćeš ti doći tamo? Ja? O, ili ne, ostane tu.
kako?
Ma bolje, ja ću donijeti.
Tu.
Mi možemo početi? We can start? Yeah? Okay. Okay, let's start. We're gonna do this. Do we have any volunteers? Who wants to start off? Kirsi, you want to start off? Okay. Wait. Which number is this? 6. Okay, there is this on your wall there.
Yeah. Okay. And so
Okay.
here's
Wait 1 second, Kirsi. Okay, so we're going to go from table to table. Just to refresh, you can look at the boards. Briefly discuss some of the challenges within each of your destinations, and then, talk about some solutions, and then pick out a solution that you want, that you thought was quite innovative or interesting or unique for your place. And maybe also, the thing is this is interactive. So if anyone who's not on the table, oh, we lost things. Yeah. If anyone is from another table and you have a question or you think you've got a great idea, just raise your hand and we'll give you the microphone as well. So you join in the other table. This is an interactive thing. Okay. And also if you have questions, you can ask the coordinator and the facilitator.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So here we are with the Green coordinator Naida Gušević from Skakavica. Skakavac, izvinite. I'm sorry because I have a Skakavica in my village in Montenegro, so it's very close. And it is also a waterfall, not quite this big, but quite as beautiful. So Skakavac has some 100,000 visitors per year. This is what I learned, and I will be giving over this microphone to be having the challenges from first hand, and I'll be then a little bit speaking about the solutions that we were talking in the table. Thank you everybody who participated here in the table.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Naida, and I work in a cantonal public institution for protected areas. So we manage with the Monument of Nature of Skakavac. So the most challenging for us is a little bit more cars on our protected area. That is against the law, because in protected areas of Canton Sarajevo you cannot drive cars. But we do not have any transportation that is organized by our institution or with the town of Sarajevo. So the visitors has to come with their own cars, and they are making a little bit more carbon footprint on our protected area. So that's the most challenging for us, and we do not have any tickets for sale for the Skakavac. At this point, you can enter in a protected area for free. So that's a second one challenge for us for now.
Basically, not to have an entry fee is not a challenge, but the financing of services and financing of the infrastructure. I come from Finland, and our national parks are also for free, all of them. But the financing is taken care of differently from the taxation, and that is probably not quite so well working in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So the financing of maintenance and services. And then there was also the third problem, which is that there is actually nothing to buy. There are some like 50 kilometers of hiking, cycling trails, the wonderful waterfall, etc. But really this pandemic time, as in every protected area, grew the number of visitors. The place is just 12 kilometers from Sarajevo, and that means that it is a very attractive day visit destination. So it is kind of getting under pressure. So what she mentioned about there needs to be a fee to be introduced, but then also with the fee, more services, and one of those services would be then to organize the public transportation. So far, the bus takes you only like something like 7 to 8 kilometers away from the park. So that little last mile needs to be solved, and that needs an organization with the public transportation. Not a big bus is needed, but something more flexible and hopefully electronic quite soon. So e-transportation would be great. And people here have seen good examples in other places, such as Villach or Triglav in Slovenia, and also digital solutions, so that there must not be somebody selling a paper as a ticket. In Haag, in the Netherlands, has been such introduced. So the payment for the entry could be also organized together with other protected areas of Bosnia and Herzegovina. I'm showing here the example from Montenegro, not working very long, this one. The national parks of Montenegro have introduced this yearly ticket for everybody who wants to buy a yearly ticket for €13.50 has the entry to all 5 national parks all year long. And it is personal, so I had to show my passport to get this, but it pays off very fast, because only one entry, let's say to Durmitor, I think this year it's even €5. So €13.50 for all 5 national parks is value for money. And this serves at the same time also as a little bit of data information back to the parks. They then know who is coming and when. There is a QR code on the backside. So 2 solutions, yes, some sort of entry fee solution, and then the parking and the further transportation for the people. And then what we heard, there is also hope for a new small business to start, so for accommodation, and then comes the local produce, and this all is a process. So everything will be strengthening the value of the national park and its popularity, but in a good way, so that people have reasons to stay longer and spend money locally. Thank you.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions, or maybe even just a question to one of them, or another suggestion as to how this can be, their main challenge can be resolved? Any other suggestions? I mean, I saw you guys talking a little bit about that this was a good idea about the, what is it, the park? Yes. Ah. Yep.
Would it make sense to get like tour operators in Sarajevo involved to do group transportation, and maybe part of the cost that you pay for the transportation out there goes then to the park as well to help support the services and the infrastructure? Something like this? Would that work?
Thank you. So we did consider that idea, but in this moment we do not have any close work with the tour operators in Sarajevo. That's our. It's too disappointing for us, to be honest. But it could be something like that, to maybe like do contract or something like that to be a solution for our problem at this moment.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Since I come from the government, that's a good idea, and I think it's possible to do this. I have also congratulate the director of Cantonal Public Institution for Protected Areas, and I believe altogether we have to work with tourist organization of Canton of Sarajevo, government, and this public institution for protected areas to bring really tourists and to support them. Because we have in Sarajevo, I would say Naida knows maybe more because she's from that institution. For some of the protected areas, there is an entrance fee. On Skakavac, it's really pure nature, and people who are coming, these are lovers of nature. It's either local tourists or not the right term. I mean, I would say domestic tourists or international. They come and to find the Skakavac. Thank you.
I will just hook on to this. Just, are you continuing on this thing?
It's on the same thread.
Okay.
My only other thing is you said like 12 kilometers from Sarajevo. Is there like a non-automobile route there, like a bike path or a walking trail or something that could get you there, or no? I don't know the area. I'm sorry. I'm just asking questions.
That's okay. So you have to come and visit Skakavac, so you can know Skakavac. We have mapped trails that's for bikes and paths for walk, and but only on the protected area. So you could come like from our protected landscape, that's Bembasha, and come to Skakavac from other side. You have application for that. That's work on offline mode, because you don't have any signal on Skakavac, because it's pure nature, of course. And you have those kind of paths and bike trails to come to Skakavac.
Yeah, maybe hook into this. I've seen this in the region, and maybe this is for other people also interesting. Is as part of the Top 100, there is this, and the Top 100 and ACP, the awards and certification program with green destinations. Inclusion of businesses is a very, very important, I would say, a component of the certification. There's and a lot of times I've personally seen that protected areas you're very good at protecting, you know, and
That's our main goal.
that's your main goal. But when you start to become also a destination, like in your case, then the challenge, you know, the challenges are, and this is not only in Bosnia, this is everywhere, because I've also audited protected areas, out, you know, national parks in the region, and then you just realize that it is a very important aspect, and it's not always natural. It's a bit, you know, it's like you've been doing protection, and now you've got to include the businesses who are going to bring people there. And businesses tend to be also very independent, you know. You just go like, oh, I mean, Skakavac, I've walked so many times up there, brought many guests up there, you know, and it's like, why do I now need to come and talk to Naida and, you know, get involved because congestion or because of, you know, paying fees or, you know, new trails, etc. I know all of this already. So it is a very big challenge, and I think this is an important thing about what we wrote here, you know, in your group. It is how do we get businesses involved in our destinations, especially when we're just starting, you know. And not only that, but yeah, good. Okay. Any other questions for Naida? Yeah. Can we have a?
Thank you. I'm Bojan Vučurević from Trebinje city. Naida, you have a best practice story already in Bosnia and Herzegovina at Kravice waterfalls. When we speak about parking and when we speak about fee to enter that nature thing. So you can go to Kravice, see what the parking is like there. It's for free. You have two types of tickets to entry this waterfall. For domestic tourists, it's about €5. For foreigners, it's about 10, I think. So it's a good practice story in our neighborhood in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Thank you. We did do some new costing for entrance in a monument of nature of Vrelo Bosne and protected landscape in Bijambare. But the big problem is that we do not have transportation from to the Skakavac, and that's the most big thing to solve, as you said. Yeah, from the last station, from our public transportation to Skakavac, and we do not. You can now stay at the parking lot that's for free, and you others enter with the car in our protected area because it's like 1 kilometer walk to the point. So it's big thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll just add one opportunity here when we talk about involvement of businesses. This is what we have in Finland and what I saw also in Austria on a hiking trail. You have a great wildlife also. You don't just have, you know, nature's monuments or so, but great wildlife. And guiding, let's say, along the paths of the bear, not necessarily going for bear watching immediately, but talking about the wildlife that you have and getting city people closer to nature with qualified guiding, that is also a moneymaker. So this one person who is like biologist in Austria, he took for a full day tour something like €80. No? And it has to be qualified, but then you get the value, not volume visitors as well.
Thierry, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Please, would you tell us, just to share for one national park, we are going to visit national park for the Finland. Like, how does it work? Like in practice, you said it's free entrance, but how did you involve businesses? And what would you recommend for this as a solution for Skakavac? Would it be parking and then to walk? Just to walk to the park, or differently?
There were many questions. I would say about the business involvement, we should arrange a separate workshop, because that is really a big thing for all the protected areas in all the Western Balkans. Regarding the parking and public transportation, I would look into those solutions which help reduce individual traffic. Yeah, and arranging public offer, and if individual traffic, then to arrange an information system which tells you, okay, this parking space is already full, and there are digital really good solutions for that which help destinations to manage that. No, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. That was for me. I mean, I read the case study. For me, there were some interesting things here. I think there's lots of discussions. I think one that Bojan did mention. Bojan did mention one thing about, there are, even in our own areas, there are good examples, and that's why we're starting to share these case studies, because there are some very good examples. All 6 of us, 6 destinations here, have some really good solutions. For sometimes some issues, or let's call them challenges, that are not easy to overcome in our setting. Okay, so I'd like to move on to the next one, and that is going to be Bosanska Krupa number 3. So here we go. I'll come. So Bosanska Krupa, for those of you who don't know, Bosnia is like a heart shape or a triangle, and Bosanska Krupa is in the northwest of the country. Sits on a beautiful river, the Una River, and the mountains around. Okay, it's very difficult not to be in the mountains in Bosnia and Herzegovina, but it's there. So, Hugo, please, it's all yours.
Okay, unfortunately, we don't have no one from Bosanska Krupa here, because in discussion we maybe lack of some maybe crucial, important local information. However, we discuss a lot, and we also went a little bit beyond the destination when we are talking about the challenges and possible solutions. So we also maybe talk about from perspective of the whole country. In regards to Bosanska Krupa, what we identify as one of biggest challenge, because we came to the topic somehow, is about the floods. That is a very big challenge, and actually the erosion of the riverbanks is actually identified as one of their challenge. So definitely one of the solutions that we discuss is about engaging the widespread of the relevant stakeholders, like academic society, the experts on the field, and so on, who could help them to identify what is the best solution for the preventing and stopping the riverbanks erosion, and also in regards to prevention of the possible negative impact of the floods, because we just mentioned that less than 1 month ago there was actually big floods in Bosanska Krupa with a big damage to the community, around 10 million euros, something like that, if you remember something like that. So it is something that is happening to that community very often, and that is something that should be addressed in the future as well. Also, we talk about about the accessibility, because this destination includes the 8 river islands, which were in the past were not so much accessible by the tourists or local citizens. So what Bosanska Krupa as a community addressed this challenge by building the wooden bridges, and now these islands are actually accessible using these bridges. However, we talk about that challenge a little bit beyond the Bosanska Krupa, who that solved that challenge. It's also thinking about that lack of accessibility should not be look as something negative. It could be also look something like a positive, that this can be promoted if some destination has some lack of accessibility, that could be like promoted like something uniqueness, yeah, something that could be challenging and interesting for the people to come to that location, just because it is actually not easy to come to that location. So maybe also to think about from different perspective as well. In regards to the content, that is offered to the tourists, talking about River Una, we came to different also proposals to increase maybe the touristic offer. It's however, there is possibility that some of these are in place at the moment. But something what is interesting about, but it's more maybe for the local citizens, about urban gardening. That could be something, could be interesting. Bird watching, because this area is actually on the migratory route of the birds. Surf diving, watching the life under the water. And yeah, educational center for the children and youth, especially for them, but also for others, that they can learn about this nation and its specifics and importance and so on. Okay. Yeah, we also. Okay, this is again a little bit beyond Bosanska Krupa, talking in general. That should be very the cross-border cooperation. We took the example that close to that area we have also the National Park Una, and also the Plitvice Lake National Park in Croatia, and like this cross-border cooperation between these two national parks can enhance, I mean, experience and knowledge sharing, but also like cooperating together, like tourists coming to Plitvice Lake. And Plitvice Lake, you can promote also the National Park Una, so that this visitor can move to the National Park Una as well, and the other way around, from Una to Plitvice Lake. I mentioned to my group that I know that there are some projects between these two national parks, but this is something that should not be only be the part of the project. It should be something that should be a process, continuous process of the joint cooperation, not only based on the project funding. There is also that what is the, of course, somehow highlighted as very important, also in perspective of the Bosanska Krupa, is the engagement of the local community, that every challenge identified should be addressed together with the local community, trying to find what is the best solution from also perspective of the citizens living in the community. And more or less, the railway, I'm not sure. There is a railway to Bihać, going through the Bosanska Krupa, yes? And so using the railway as some type of the sustainable transport as well. And yeah, that's more or less, that's it.
I think one of the things is great. Thank you. I think one of the things is that we see here in the region is that you know, the effects of climate change. So this is one of the biggest challenges, and of course, you know, in our communities that are not that don't have access to funds where we're less developed, it takes a little bit slower to get things, sorted out with regards to the floods. Floods is just one thing. Our communities also have issues with forest fires. We've heard about, this in Greece, but there's the same thing happening here, and in Croatia and in Bosnia, in the entire region. I think, those are it. But then also we have another thing which is sometimes also underestimated, is the wind, storms. We've gotten more frequent storms in the region. I think it's definitely going to be something a little bit more difficult to deal with, but it is also part of our sustainability route, our process. We have to look at those issues in advance so that we can actually mitigate them or kind of deal with them, be aware of them, and our communities will have to deal with this. Does anyone have any questions for this group? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Marica. I was just wondering to ask you something about this accessibility to the islands. You said that now all the islands are accessible through the wooden bridges. And this part of the country is already hit a lot by the climate changes. And also, especially if Bosanska Krupa is planning to make this cross-border cooperation with Plitvice Lake. I was just wondering, someday in the future, if mass tourism happens there, are there any plans or measures to control the number of visitors who are entering these islands, which I think are very fragile natural wealth that should be preserved very carefully? Thank you.
Maybe you can? Okay.
I can answer that. So Bosanska Krupa passed through these first 15 criteria for entering this top 100. And we just recently had a training for them about the next 15 criteria. And one criteria that is included in this additional 15 that they will now work on it is actually the visitor plan. Management visitors. They don't have that in place at the moment, but this is something that they will work on it. So definitely agree that the habitat is fragile and that should be taken in consideration that how to keep this habitat protected as much as possible and not to be negatively impacted by the over-tourism, by the more people that the habitat can handle. Yeah.
I completely agree. I think there's one other aspect within the municipality which is very interesting because they're very strong in this. They have, as part of their green team, they have a person from urban planning. And so they have been looking at, what are the impacts of the floods on those islands. So, together with the monitoring that they haven't started yet, but this is something that, they're now aware of. I think they're well on their way to, because they've identified it already as something that's important for the community, these islands. And now, with the urban plans that have been put in place, they're actually looking also at which trees, indigenous trees, have to be planted, which sides of the island have to be protected because of the floods and of the streams, etc. So, yeah, it's a very good point. This is something that I think I was talking with Kozara over there, that our relationship as destinations with national parks, with other destinations is going to be very, very important, and not only in your own country, but also cross-border, because our neighbors in Croatia, they've gone a little bit further, they've developed a little bit further. the connections there, and they're already happening. These cross-border projects are being funded also by the EU, and so there's a lot of movement there. But it's a very good point. I'd like to move on to the next one because I think at some point you're going to go like, "Give me lunch." So, Terena, thank you very much, Hugo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hugo.
So we're going Belgium. We're jumping from Bosnia to Albania. So we got a little jump there. A little excursion. Belge calls itself, it's just part of the Albanian Lake District. So it also, again, water is here.
Oh yeah, water is always important.
It's all yours.
Oh, thank you.
So quickly, challenge.
And just brief comment on the last one, because I always have a comment about things. Drawbridges. We just do drawbridges. They build the bridges between the islands, and when we have too many people, we just pull up the bridges. That's my solution. That's my solution. We build drawbridges, then we just pull them up when we don't want more people. I need one of those at my home. My name is Terena. I'm the Green Destinations representative for Albania. I'm founding member of Balkan Green. And my representative from Belgium is actually in the next room. He's on the panel, so he couldn't be here to talk himself. But I want to give you a little background on Belgium because I have a great feeling that probably most of you haven't heard of Belgium. It's about an hour south of Tirana. The municipality of Belgium has 84 lakes, traditionally farming and fishing area. And their good practice story that they submitted this year has to do with the Lake Serfan. This lake had a long history of people throwing things into it, and they weren't really sure why. During communism, a lot of the cultural festivals and religious festivals and everything were suppressed, so they had a couple generations where they kind of lost some of their identity and their history. Fortunately, in 2002, some people discovered some ruins in the bottom of the lake, and they were able to get some archaeologists out there from the university and discovered a temple to the sort of Illyrian version of Aphrodite, buried under the lake, dating back 2,300 years. And then some people did some research and realized that the reason people used to throw things into the lake was it was like they would throw little figurines as like a wish for an offering to the goddess for a good marriage or for healthy children and things like this. She's a goddess of love and fertility. So they fought very hard to get the lake as a protected site, which has been very challenging in Albania to get places protected. There's just not a lot of resources and funding for that, and there's a lot of history, so there's a lot of places that should be protected and want to be protected. But the community actually themselves fought very hard to get the national government to recognize it as a protected space. So now it's a protected space. And then from that, they decided to develop a festival around the lake and this tradition of Aphrodite, which they did only partially as a tourism initiative, but also just as a community initiative to help the local people sort of remember the history that had been forgotten. And then they started developing tourism around this theme and this brand to get more people to come. Now, in the high season, Belgium gets an average of about 3,500 visitors every weekend. Most of them are still day visitors, so right now the struggle is to try to develop more ways to get people they don't necessarily want more people, but they want the people that come visit to stay longer, to do overnights, to have more activities, do more in-depth learning about the history and the culture of the location. So that's a big challenge that they're facing right now. With the revival of the tradition for the lake, they're also concerned about too many figurines in the lake and making sure that the figurines are either biodegradable or that we somehow don't end up ruining what we have as an attraction by having like plastic things thrown into the lake or something like that. So that's a challenge that we discussed to try to figure out ways to make sure that we're focusing on like biodegradable figurines if you really want to make a donation to Aphrodite.
Another thing that we talked about was just the sort of infrastructure issues, and the issues is getting other sites and other places in the municipality protected. There are other ancient ruins there that they want to also get protected, because Belš is sort of at the crossroads of the Via Egnatia and these ancient Roman, Illyrian, and Greek sites. So they are finding in fields now that they're adjusting the farming back to what it was before communism. They're finding more ancient ruins and things to be assessed by archaeologists, and there's just not enough resources and stuff to really investigate and excavate and protect every place. So, and they desperately want to do that, because now they see that that is why people come to visit, to see what Albania was like thousands of years ago, and so they're trying to protect that. But they are having some success now with the tourism, and they're hoping to use that as also like a circular sort of thing. The tourism helps them protect the ancient sites, and the ancient sites help them bring the tourists. And they're trying to build that sort of circular logic there, so the two support each other. But I would say Belš is definitely in the forefront of trying to do that and being successful. So we're really happy to support them to make all of that also sustainable. And but yeah, so they have their challenges, their cultural challenges. There's some community members that are still not convinced it's all going to work.
This is the main one.
But this is the main one, is to getting everyone in the community, all the business, getting the businesses on board to like really focus on sustainable development, and to show them that this process of growth will work in this way, is really one of the bigger challenges. But they've come a long way.
It's kind of interesting, because I've heard, in the conference itself, there's always the talk about, stories,
Yeah.
Tourism, our sustainable tourism. Don't tell us how we are, how sustainable we are. People don't want to know that they're going to, so much about specifically what those issues are, but they are interested about the story.
Yeah.
And then link that, the story to protection, and I think that's Belš, but the same thing happens in all of our destinations.
Absolutely.
One quick question. Anyone have a question? Okay, let's move on. Snezhana is there. You go.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to say hi first, quickly. And then let Vedrana do a quick introduction. Vedrana is our coordinator from Shamac for Tišina Bare. Or Bara Tišina.
Bara Tišina. Thank you. My name is Vedrana Mihaljic. I am from Municipality of Shamac. Municipality of Shamac is manager for Protected Habitat Tišina. Protected habitat is wetland along the river Sava in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and it is home to many endangered species of birds, about 130, and about 21 species of fishes. Bara Tišina represents an important nesting, wintering, feeding and sleeping area for birds on the migration route through Bosnia and Herzegovina. We in Bara Tišina, we challenge for two challenge to protected habitat Tišina. The first challenge is small financial funding for infrastructure and experts for monitoring, and the other challenge is educational process for raising awareness. That is all. Thank you.
Thanks. I'll take over from here, and let me take one of these challenges off the list immediately, and it's financing. Not that we have resolved it, but we have received some very good ideas where to look for some options. Now, obviously, the municipalities are already very much aware of some of the EU funding and some of the direct donors that we have in the country, like GIZ, UNDP, and cross-border funds with Croatia. But we've also, from our Croatian colleagues, have heard of another program to check, which is LIFE, but also about Ramsar and some other international organizations that are specialized really in wetlands. So this was very good news. Let's put it that way. We haven't resolved it, but at least we know where to look for it. The other two kind of main topics that we discussed. One was the issue of go away. One was the issue of, kind of comes from waste management, but it's really the issue where the local people have been preserving wetlands for extended period of time. They love wetlands and they dedicate their time and some of their resources to maintaining the wetlands because it's one of the last wetlands along the Sava River that has managed to survive. And it's of high importance that it kind of remains and that it is preserved. However, there is a situation where we have people who have purchased land that is now in the protected area, and it's very young protected area. It received protection only in 2019. And these people obviously don't have the emotional connection. They use their land as they want to use it. They purchased it when it was in protection, so this comes on top as, this kind of new rule for them. And one of the things that we were kind of talking about is that maybe the approach, although municipality has already established communication with them, but the approach is to try and maybe turn the communication around in a way that we are not calling you to talk because you're not supposed to do this, but we are calling you to make sure that we actually, take care of you. And we kind of inform you what kind of building will be allowed because you are in the protected zone and what are the possible scenarios, what you can do, type of activities that you can do or type of building that you can do so that the municipality basically opens a communication with them right now, informing them of what they can do rather than just saying, you cannot do that. So the communication is already there, so it's just maybe a little bit of a twist in how the information is presented. And then another thing is, because obviously we are here because of the sustainable tourism, is also thinking about the tourism activities. The municipality has already taken on some, let's say, first steps in the sense, yeah, maybe agree in the phrase, but no, in the sense of also figuring out how it all works. There isn't a strategy for tourism development yet, but there is a management plan for the protection zone, and there is a destination management strategy, which doesn't replace what is needed for the long-term strategy, but it provides some framework to start working with. And one of the things that municipality has already established is what they call the Management Plan Council, which is basically a body that brings in them as the responsible management body with the NGOs that are active in nature protection or biodiversity protection, brings the other groups of stakeholders to kind of jointly devise the next activities. What we have identified that probably there needs to be a tourism group in there that would be bringing together accommodation facilities, restaurants that are present so that they are both integrated into the future planning, but also that they are informed of the sustainable development that Shamac has committed to and is pursuing so that they can kind of go together along the path. And also the idea is that within this council there are also, can they be within the council or ad hoc groups that are being brought together when needed, but that would also focus on the gastronomic offer in the town and crafts, traditional crafts that are still present so that these can be integrated into the discussion but also eventually become the tourism offer. So that's it.
Great. Before any questions, I think I've seen, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the whole thing about our destinations. We are really lacking any kind of destination management organizations throughout the region. So whenever we go out there and we talk to, Austrians and the Hungarians and the Portuguese, there's always a just getting his attention. There are destination management organizations. There are organizations that actually do what you said was the challenge. But this brings us a whole different set of challenges. So in a community like Shamac, which is a very small community, how many people live in the city? 16,000. It's a very, very small area. And so the municipality has taken up the role of a DMO not really, but is beginning to understand that it's important to have. Yeah, it's important to have that, and so the other thing which is very, very important, the management plan within a lot of our smaller destinations communities is actually a very important document, or is a starting document to go further with sustainable tourism development or certification. Yes, Naida. Oh, wait 1 second. Just. Thank you.
Are you okay with that?
No, we're going to go now to Trebinje.
So when you proclaim some area that is protected, do you do some valorization of protected area, and you have to do like a management plan for the protected area at this point? I mean, from the start.
Daniel. Just
Yes.
Radili ste valorizaciju, to razumijem, ali mislim, plan upravljanja prostora...
Uradili plan upravljanja.
Imate, postoji. To ide od početka.
Na engleskom.
Sorry.
We're many of us, but not everyone speaks Bosnian.
Sorry.
We have management plan.
So the basis for that was a management.
So you do you like municipality do for like protected area you do with management plan, or you have like something like public institution or something that?
No, we
you do everything.
Yes, we do it.
Okay, thank you. I want to move on now to Trebinje, just before lunch. Maybe we go on that. We go on this side. You can stay there, Jana, on your there. Which number is this? 4. Here we go. Trebinje. Okay. All yours, Bojan.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bojan. I come from Trebinje. For those who don't know, it's a small but beautiful city in the south of Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's near Dubrovnik in Croatia, for example, near some also popular tourist places like Međugorje. In recent years, Trebinje has also become a popular tourist destination, and one of the reasons is that it is defined as a strategic goal in our development strategy. However, we are facing some possible negative aspects of tourism development related to mass tourism, potential risk to our culture and natural heritage, some negative aspects that are related to needs of local population. And for us to overcome those difficulties, we were thinking of development of active and outdoor tourism in the function of sustainable tourism development. In recent years, we have implemented a couple of initiatives and projects related to this topic. For example, one of them is Project Retail that we candidated as this year's Top 100 Good Practice Stories competition, and which goal was support to tourism COVID-affected MSMEs, and we did that through cooperation, trying to establish cooperation between tourism operators, between traditional and some alternative methods. However, challenges that we face through the implementation of not only this, but all initiatives related to this topic are that there is a lack of cooperation between private and public sector, lack of confidence, trust, and also lack of motivation from private sector.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I think that this is one of the challenges which are very well known in the region, also in Slovenia, that these cooperations are sometimes really hard to overcome. May I just maybe, would point out a few more things that we were talking about as challenges as well. And especially when it comes again to the challenge that the local sector is maybe not so interested to step on the path of sustainability and how to bridge the challenges of cooperation. And one thing which we were talking about, and I think it's a really straight to the point, that when we are trying to engage businesses to go for certification, many times the workflow of those who are engaged or should be engaged is too big, and this is something the last on the line. And that these businesses would tend to employ people who have a lack of knowledge when it comes to sustainability. So this is even harder to do. And again, of course, everybody wants to understand what are the profits and what are the reasons why I should go for certification. And also we see that those who have the most tourists are the ones who are the least interested to go for certification, because they are full. They don't really see the cooperation, they don't see the reasons, and it's then, of course, everybody just focused on short-term solutions and thinking about something new as something which I don't need. If there's something new and I don't really understand it, so probably it's not good. So I should maybe not step into that. And the other thing is that, of course, this is a small region, and when there is mass tourism pushes on that, like especially when the cruise ships come and the visits are breaking up, so then it comes that we have, of course, a different problem when it comes to local communities not being so much interested anymore and not being satisfied. So solutions, again, I think that we were talking about in this conference quite a lot about how to engage the providers into this story of sustainability and cooperation. And one thing which we see in the region, I think only not in Bosnia and Herzegovina, but also around the whole region, is that there is a lack of maybe national legislation that pushes businesses and destinations to some solutions, especially like waste management and stuff like that. And that EU, coming closer to EU, is strong in slowly bringing new solutions in. And the other thing is that when somebody does something good, and then the others see, they would maybe start to follow that idea. But then again, of course, I think that one thing about talking about how to get destinations or businesses, especially on the track of certification, is that when we realize this is in the heads and in decisions of the managers and owners of the business. And those are the ones that we need to talk to and persuade. So that means that we need to think about their values and what they actually see as advantage. And telling them that it's advantage that you should run your business more sustainable, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but many of the businesses will say, yeah, why? So I think we need to start to change the paradigm of communicating those messages to decision makers on a business levels, bringing in the values that they have, and that not, of course, one is profit, but not just the profit, but what would make sustainability more attractive to the decision makers in a business. I think this is the question which everybody should actually think about it, and we are also in Slovenia thinking a lot about that. What is that narrative that we need to put together? So this is one thing, and I think it's an important part. And the other thing is, of course, when we are talking about this cooperation, we need, when we are developing tourism products, and we see a very nice example of this biking trail, so why don't develop a tourism product where you put those who are certified more up on an agenda, like, be the ones you promote more, or be the ones that are, representing this whole product. So this is one thing. And again, on the other side, when talking about managing of destinations, we saw the issues and the challenges that are there. It's really important that, using the certification as an identification tool to see where the problems actually are and really address those problems, through the management of a destination. And this can be done also, like for example, with a card for a tourist who through this card he can be motivated to start using public transportation. He can maybe use more or visit more destinations within one destination, not just coming in and coming out. So, yeah, maybe that's it. Did I forget anything? No.
No, that's good. I'm just looking at our watch because we
I
have lunch.
sorry.
But I think this is excellent, and that was also one of the things that was being discussed on the big stage. And I would like to, because we didn't have a chance, and we'll just very quickly, I'm just going to go through, because there's Kozara National Park as well, and it's kind of connected. No, it's connected to what you're saying, so just stay there. Yeah. So the thing is that, talking to, communication with your businesses, what are they doing? How are they bringing people to your area? Are they doing this in a responsible way? Can they help you out with, further developing your products? Because there's lots of products that are not being shown out there, but you have. So the national park, or in a region like Trebinje, they have material for products, whether it's a cycling route, or it is your hiking trail, or your via ferrata, or your zip line, etc., or horseback riding, whatever. There are so much product out there, but it needs to be communicated through the destination. But the destination first needs to have those discussions with the businesses. Thank you very much. Can
I suggest something? Are we wrapping up?
We're going to have to wrap up now.
Okay. Everybody to stand up and put a hand to the next.
Okay, let me just... you can do that. Yes, we can do that. The point being is thank you very much for being here. We as in the Western Balkans, in these regions, we have incredible potentials. We've started our green route to, it's a beginning. First 15 criteria, we're going off to the 30 criteria. Some of us are already in ACP. We're going to go, this is going to go forward. The lessons learned here, we're going to, we will share. Please scan the main document over there where the rakia is. Have another rakia, a drink. Scan it. All the documents will be in there. And please share it. Get in touch with us. Get in touch with the coordinators. Share amongst yourselves. And thank you very much for being here. And Kissy, you can do your thing now.
Okay. Now, everybody, please stand up and put the hand to the shoulder of your next person. To the shoulder of your next person. Yeah. Just
yes.
Okay. And give a good tap on the shoulder. You have been in the right place today, and enjoy your lunch. Thank you. Hvala.
Thank you very much.